In this video, I'm going to go over how to make a video in Vyond and think about how you can use videos and video services as part of your NorQuest classes. This could be for a Moodle class, this could be as a accompanying resource, something that stands alongside your course. Maybe it's something that you share with other people or other organizations. But Vyond is a way to easily step into animation. It's the best system that I've seen to go from concept to animated video in relatively short amount of time. What's great about Vyond is it's quite flexible. It can really grow with you as the user. If you want to make something that just looks like a PowerPoint, you can do that. If you want to make something with characters and scene transitions and complex interactions, you can do that too. And I found as I've learned to use Vyond, it's really grown with me. And as my skills with it have improved, Vyond has been able to accommodate me. So if you have a low bar or a high bar, I think Vyond is a good choice. All right, let's just jump right in. Let's see how we make a video. Before we start though, I just want to point out that this is might as well close my YouTube video I was working on. I want to point out that Vyond is a browser-based service. This means that you're not downloading any software. You don't have to worry about how fast your computer is as long as you can run a web browser. You don't have to worry about permissions and sharing the file with other people. All that stuff is handled for you. It's great. It makes working on projects collaboratively much easier. And it also means that whatever computer you like to use, I know a lot of educators like to use Apple products, you can use that computer. That's great. All right, let's just jump in and make a video. There's three general styles: contemporary, business friendly, and whiteboard. And you can get a sense of what each style is like just looking at these little previews hovering over top of each style. So contemporary has that kind of flat 2D look. There's a sort of like in Google language they call it material design. There's no shadows, there's no layers. It's all just flat. It looks great if you're designing something to look quite modern. The next one is business friendly. Business friendly has more of a animation style. It looks a little bit more like a cartoon. Characters have a bit more depth to them. Objects have more of a 3D feel. There's a lot more movement and a lot more kind of objects moving through time and space, floating things and spinning balls and things like that. That's business friendly. The last one is whiteboard animation. These are primarily black and white. There's occasionally some color sprinkled in, but we're talking very much about hand drawn style. And you can see all these transitions, like the hands move across, right? And the hand slides up. Maybe there's a pen and it writes something on the screen. There's that sort of classic, YouTube explanation video feel to the whiteboard animation. For the WebSafe project, we primarily used business friendly and whiteboard animation. The business friendly was easier to create a memorable character and then have that character run through the course. We found that was quite effective, especially for storytelling. But there were some elements we used from contemporary. You can mix and match elements from each of these three depending on what you want to do. But to get started, let's just pick business friendly. I think when people think animation video, this is the one they're most likely thinking of. They recommend it for scenario-based training, company culture videos, announcements, explainer videos. And, for contemporary, we're talking more about the kind of modern branding look. Branded videos, infographics, promotional videos, demos. Let's pick business friendly. Now, Vyond uses a system of templates. These templates are pre-built scenes. You can make your own scenes if you'd like to, but the easiest way in, and the way that I got started, was to use templates. This is a beginning template that sort of serves as an introduction. And I don't want to use this one. I don't think this gives a good example of what Vyond is best for. So let's delete it. That's just as simple as highlighting the scene, and I'm going to press delete. And now it's gone. So now I have a blank scene. You can see I've got a lot of things going on here, right? I've got a whole set of toolbars There's 9 options here. I've got another 6 options here. I've got a toolbar at the top. I've got a toolbar on the side. There's toolbars everywhere. There's a lot going on. Maybe too much, but that's another story. Really what we're worried about is, what's going to appear in our scene. So this white square will show whatever's going to be in the frame of our particular shots. On the bottom here we have a timeline, and this is how we add new scenes. And really Vyond is just a process of adding one scene and then another scene until you have something that you feel flows together properly. There's a lot going on, like I said, but let's take an easy step into it. I think it'll give you a sense of how the scene structure actually works. So let's go ahead and add a scene, and I'm going to choose a template. I'm going to go here to choose template, and I'm given a lot of options here. There's a lot going on here in terms of pre-built scenarios. This sports has 15, space has 23, shopping has 40. Let's go back to the beginning. Customer service has 16, catering has 18. They've really created a lot of templates for you to work with, and that's just under the business friendly tab. We have a total of 901 custom scenes. Whiteboard animations 339, contemporary 603, and then they have this common craft, which is sort of just like a blank template. For this they give 74. So we're talking about what, almost 2,000? Does my math serve me correctly? Yeah, I think that's close. Almost 2,000 pre-built scenes. And I can also search for them. Let's say I want to find something with a phone call. Here's some results for a phone call from the business friendly. We don't have any for the whiteboard. We have 5 from the contemporary, and we don't have any from common craft. So even just getting started about thinking about, what's my kind of top level thinking, there's going to be ways for you to dip your toe in to get a sense of what you can possibly achieve. Let's try something like a computer screen. All right, this is one I quite like. Let's pick this one. And again, we get little descriptions over top. Data security, customer service scenario, a computer screen, another computer screen. Let's pick this data security. I think this is a good one to show the kind of complexity in the layers even in the pre-built scenarios. We're not going to need this first scene. I'm going to delete that one. Now let's have a look at this first scene. Now this scene's about 2.5 seconds. You can see it in the bar here. If I hover over this, it'll actually tell me, hey, look at that, 2.5 seconds. And we've got a lot of elements, right? We've got some numbers in the background. We've got a character here. We've got a few screens. We've got some numbers on the screen, some icons on the screen. So let's see what it looks like. For me to see what my scene is going to look like, I just press play. So this preview mode is going to show me what are my first 2.5 seconds of my video going to look like. Okay, so it's a short clip, but let's extend it, right? Let's say I want to have this last for, say, 10 seconds. Let's see what this looks like for 10 seconds. It's going to buffer and it's going to process on the server side. And now let's see what it looks like on the browser side. So again, I've got numbers moving in the background. I've got some little animations on the lines here. My shadowy figure is typing furiously. You can tell they're really thinking. So right away we've got this scene, right, to set the stage, and we know that we have 10 seconds of the video now completed. Let's say we decided 10's a bit long, let's make it 8. And then after that, maybe I want somebody looking, worried, something like that. Okay, so let's add another scene, and I'm going to choose another template. Let's see what worried brings up. Okay, here's a good one. So we've got somebody losing their money. It says bankrupt. Let's have a little look over. Somebody's looking confused. Oh, I like that one. We've got somebody on the phone with customer service here. Or no, that's a finished and not finished. Okay, let's take this feeling confused. This guy's looking quite confused. Okay, now if I want to swap in different things, different characters, different props, I can do that right inside the scene. Let's start by replacing the character. I'm going to right click or control click or command click if you're a Apple user. I'm going to go to replace. And now I'm given a look at all of the characters. Again, 855 different characters underneath business friendly, 257 whiteboard, 288 contemporary. I've got somebody confused, so let's pick a teenager, maybe. No teenager. Okay, let's pick a youth. No youth. Let's pick a student. There we go. Okay. So this is a little preview of, how many different potential students that we have. Let's pick somebody young. I like the look of this character. Of course, they appear off screen. Okay, this is, I think, is a good example of how the frame system works. So look on the bottom here. This will let you know what the frame is going to look like at the kind of thumbnail zoom out level. So as I drag my character in, you can see they pop into the screen, right? And I can take them off the screen. And all you can see is, it's very hard to see, I'm sorry, but all you can see is their shoes. Let's bring the character in. Now, this background, it's a little bit, I think it's clashing personally with our color scheme of the clothes. Let's change that background. So we were working with a question mark background here, and I can see that background inside of background. Surprise, surprise. Question marks. Let's change that color. Let's pick something like maybe a nice green. That's a bit strong. Okay, I don't love that green. So that's one series of colors offered to me. I can also pick business friendly and contemporary. Let's try business friendly. Maybe this green. Don't love it. I don't hate that blue. I don't like that. You can see it's easy for me to be very picky. I can also punch in a hex code here, which is very handy if you want to use the standard NorQuest hex codes. And I can pick whatever color I want, maybe make it a bit lighter, a bit darker. I can change the gradient here or the I'm sorry, I don't know color words. I can navigate with the rainbow. The other thing I like is to use the eyedropper. That's quite handy if I want to pull off a particular color or a particular hex code. Let's go a little bit lighter. That's pretty nice. All right, so we're going to have some question marks moving in the background. And then our character, we can have a look at what our character's doing. I want to show you that again. Okay, so up here we've got this context menu, right? That's how we changed the background. Now when I click on the character, that context menu is going to change, and this is going to give me the options about my character specifically. I have actions, expressions, and I can also make them talk. Right now, or I think we're doing like a shrugging motion, I believe. Let's actually watch it and see what it is. I can't remember. I think we got a shrugging motion. Oh, nothing. Okay, well, I believe there was one before. Maybe it was replaced. Usually it remembers those things, but that's okay. Let's have him going like, maybe hand on the chin. Now, that's a bit odd, I don't know about that. And then for the face, confused. Let's have a look at what the other options are. Do we want him crying? Come on. Come on, Vyond. Usually it's a little more responsive than this. That's a bit extreme. We don't quite want him crying. Maybe angry? Nah, I don't like that. Sad? I kind of like sad. Yeah, I like that. And I don't want him facing the camera. That's a bit to break the fourth wall. Let's have him look to the left. There we go. I like that. Okay, let's have a look. What does sad looking to the left with your hand on your chin look like? Looks a bit pensive, doesn't he? That's a bit long. Maybe that should be about 3 seconds. So you can see I got my duration there on my little pop-up timer. 3 seconds. That's a good length of time. So we've got the hacker doing something bad. There are characters looking a bit sad, a bit confused. Oh, I don't know what's happening. And maybe we want to have the police get involved. Let's add a blank, not a blank scene. Let's add a template. And let's pick something with the police. Maybe we want them phoning the police. Don't like those. A little bit extreme. Let's try a phone call. No phone call. Phone call 2 words? Not quite. Maybe just phone. Here we go. Here's one of my favorites. Making a phone call. We don't need this text box here. I'm going to get rid of that text box. And we need our character. We want to bring our character back. So let's replace this character with our kid. There he is. It's a little too small. Now, there must be something with going between an adult and a kid that changes their actions. Normally that'll save that. So our kid's a little small for this frame. Let's make him a little bigger. Not too big. Now we need to give him a cell phone, just like the other shot. So let's search for a phone. And we want him standing up. We want him talking on the phone. It's good. He looks worried. And we want him talking to the police, right? He's going to make a phone call to the police. Something bad has happened. Let's change this to a police. Search police here. That's good. Now I don't like this background. This background clashes with the color of the police uniform. It's a little dark. So again, let's go to our color wheel here. Let's just have a quick look. See if there's something that's a bit more pronounced. Don't like that with the wall. Maybe a bit more like a red. That's not bad. Something in that hue. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. We're not here for the purposes of perfect color matching, just to show you the options available with Vyond. Okay, so we've got a first scene with some hacking going on. We've got our student, our young person, feeling very confused, bit sad. Then they're calling the police to try and sort it out. So maybe we need a first scene. Maybe we need our young student on a computer. So let's add a first scene here. So I'm going to add another scene. And I'm going to choose a template. And let's pick computer. I'd like something with my student sitting at a computer. Lots of these have to do with hacking. Here's one. So here's somebody sitting. They're in a hotel room, which isn't quite what I want. So let's see what else we can find. I'm going to delete that. Let's see what else we can find and choose another template. Again, we're looking for computer. That's good. This one's not bad. I'm going to try this one here from the home office. We're going to drag this over here. First scene. And this is going to be our kid again. We might have to do some playing around and make sure we find the right props, the right pieces. Let's find our student. Here he is. So he's not sitting at his laptop. So let's get rid of a few things. We're definitely not going to need this. We're not going to need all these individual elements. I can actually create a little drag. That's a little too much, but I can drag over the items I don't want, delete them. These ones are going to take one at a time because I have some things in the background. Let's move this computer over just for now. I don't think a kid's going to be drinking a coffee. And now he needs to be sitting down. So let's see if we can do something maybe with a laptop. There we go. Look at that. Sitting at a laptop. Now, it's not quite on his lap, is it? Let's play around a little more. We don't quite have what we need. We can get typing. And let's close that. Move him up a little bit. Come on, buddy. Sometimes getting the pieces to move properly can be a little challenging. Come on. All right, well, I'm going to select my character. I'm going to use the arrow keys. Move him up a little bit. And now let's put this laptop on his lap. Come on. Wow, this doesn't like me today. Okay, I have to use arrow keys for some reason. Vyond doesn't like me dragging objects right now. These kind of things happen, of course. Let's put the laptop right about so. Now that doesn't look so natural with his hands. So instead of having him type, let's just have him with his hands at his side here. So let's change the action to sitting. Hands at his side. Not quite. This for me is really important, making sure that the gestures look just right. I find this Really adds to the uncanny valley of the character. If we can have him sitting just right, that's not bad. If we can have him sitting just right, makes a big difference for the believability of the scene. Maybe his arms are crossed. That's pretty good. He's looking at something. Okay. Let's move it a little more into his lap. Up a little bit, side a little bit. How does that look? It's a bit floating. Maybe we make it just a bit smaller. He's small, so he needs a smaller laptop. That's good. Okay. We got a cat playing with a ball of yarn. Nice little rug. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So we've got our student at home on their computer. Everything's good. Oh, but the hacker, right? They're breaking in. Something bad is happening. We can see the scene's running a little long. Our kid's like, oh, I don't know, something pensive. Oh, I better call the police. Something bad happened. Now, this scene looked a little too long, right? A little too long with the hacker. So let's take the hacker down. We might need another scene in between the kid getting confused and the kid calling the police. But for the purposes of this video, I think it gives you a sense of how to put the scenes together. This is a general overview of how we actually piece the scenes together. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to add some music, how to add some voice. But I think this gives a good overview of generally how do we work with Vyond, putting scenes together, sort of conceptualizing what we want to build, picking the individual pieces. You can see I did a lot of playing around, picking colors, choosing my characters, deciding on my scenes. That's essentially the process. There's a lot of thinking, a lot of tweaking, a lot of tinkering. When you get into Vyond, that's going to be an important process. Is embracing that it's just going to take some time and it's good to play around with your objects. All right, that's it for now. Thanks very much. See you soon.